Well, as cruisers, for the most part, we don't like to see things that we love go away. And well, the theme of today's show is things that we love going away. We have a popular private island going away for a bit. We have a popular cruise ship going away for a bit. And we may have Alaska's most popular excursion going away for a bit. And then we have a Royal Caribbean venue going away forever. Plus good news for vegans and more. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I am your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. It is July the 2nd, 2023, and dagnabbit, this year of 2023 is basically halfway over. What a whirlwind. Here's an interesting thing. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson who explained the phenomena of time going quicker when we get older. You know, we sit here and we go, wow, man, it seems like time is going so fast. As a 50-year-old, time seems to be going a lot faster than I felt like it was going than when I was a 20-year-old. And it was interesting what Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He said that it's because earlier in our lives, these events are longer portions of our lives. If I'm probably making that more convoluted than it should be, but essentially, do you remember how summers felt long when you were 6 years old or 10 years old? It felt like it took forever to get from the summer. It took forever to get through the school year. But now as an adult, all this time just goes a lot quicker. He said it's because those summers were a longer portion of your life. So your sixth summer was 1/6 of the summers that you had experienced. And so it, of course it seemed elongated, but now when you're into your 51st summer, one summer is only, it's 1/51st opposed to a sixth, which is, I hope that makes sense. It's helped me think about it a little bit, that it's really contextual. The longer we spend circling the earth or on the earth, circling whatever, as long as we're alive, these events become smaller portions of our lives, and therefore it seems like we go through them quicker. That's weird, and maybe our capacity for reflection increases over time also. I think when I was a youngin, as they say where I'm from, I think when I was a youngin, I didn't care how time passed. But now, as you're closer to the end than the beginning, you start to reflect on it more. Anybody else get into that cycle? Yeah, interesting stuff, or at least to me. I know we got to get to the cruise news. Let me first say happy Canada Day. Yesterday was Canada Day. A big shout out to all of the Canadian viewers out there. I hope you had an excellent holiday yesterday. I did make a video the other day saying that I was forced to visit Canada, and some Canadians took umbrage to it, like I was somehow insulting Canada. But if you watch the video, you realize that the thing that was forcing me to go to Canada was a law in the United States. So if anything, the forcing came from the US and had less to do with Canada than anything else. And if you watch the video, you realize that I'm a big fan of Canada. So if you were, you're probably not watching now. If you just cursory looked at the title and got all up in the back about it, it's all right, guys. Let's just keep it inside the rails. I love Canada. Oh, Canada. I'm not going to sing the whole national anthem. However, happy Canada Day. You know what I'm saying? I had a great time in Victoria. If you ever get a chance, I wish I had more than 3 hours, honestly. Many things were closed, and everybody said to go to the Bouchette Gardens, whatever. I would have loved to do that. The miniature thing, I would have loved to do that, but really we were just kind of maneuvering the things that were open, which wasn't a lot. And so it was great. I hope to spend a longer time in Victoria when I get the opportunity. Happy Canada Day. And then we're a couple days away from July the 4th, but I'll probably be back by July the 4th. But if I'm not, happy 4th of July, everybody celebrating here in the US of A. That's right. Our amber waves of grain. Okay, cruise news time. Let's talk about things that are going away for a bit. The first thing that I want to talk about is MSC's private island, Ocean Key. I like this private island. They do a really interesting thing with the lighthouse there. They do a late night lighthouse show if you're on an MSC cruise ship. It's very cool. It's like a whole music, light, beach party vibe. It's it's an island that's under development. There's not like a pool there. It's just like a beachy vibe. And when you go there, you go, wow, they really should take some time and improve the island a little bit. If only they would do that. Well, your prayers have been answered. They are going to take some time next year and improve that island, add some more features to it. Ocean Key will be closed from April the 7th, 2024 to May the 22nd, 2024, as they add some enhancements and some improvements to their private island. There's a lot of private island competition in the Bahamas where Ocean Key is located. I'm thinking about Royal Caribbean's Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Of course, MSC doing everything that they can to get a better stronghold in the North American market, and having a really banging private island would be one of those things to compete with. And so they are going to spend some time to work on making it a banging private island. I'm excited to see what the outcome is. Have you sailed on MSC? Have you been to Ocean Key? Do you love it? Are you excited about the enhancements? You can put your feedback in the comments below. All right, let's talk about a Royal Caribbean cruise ship that is going away for a little bit. Cruisers on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas have been notified that their cruise has been canceled, as the Freedom of the Seas will be entering the dry dock for enhancements. The guests impacted were scheduled to sail on the Royal Caribbean Freedom of the Seas in December 2024 and January 2025. So more than a full year's worth of warning about this cancellation. And well, just because they gave you a big pile of notice does not mean you can be slow to respond. There is just a short period of time where you have to decide what to do with your booking. So if you are out there booked on Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas for December 2024, January 2025, you have to take action now, or pretty soon from now. So make sure you're paying attention. Were you on that sailing? Did you get canceled? Leave a comment below. Now let's talk about how possibly the most popular excursion in Alaska could be canceled for a period of time. There's been a lot of conversation lately about the longshoremen strike in Canada and its possible effects on cruising. And well, the longshoremen have gone on strike. Fortunately, there was a deal brokered that the longshoremen that handled the cruise ships in Canada would not go on strike. So fortunately, cruise ships stopping in Canada should not be impacted by the longshoremen strike. However, there is another strike looming that may impact cruisers going to Alaska. After 6 years without a contract, train operators operating the White Pass Rail and Yukon line are voting whether or not to go on strike. If these railroad operators do strike, it will certainly impact one of the most popular excursions in Alaska, the White Pass Rail excursion into the Klondike. I was just in Skagway less than 2 weeks ago, and that train was full of people going up the mountain, going into the Yukon. I talked to a lot of people that went on that excursion. They loved it. I've gone on that excursion one time, but it wasn't the full excursion because of the shutdown. And I didn't love it, but I'm going to have to give it another shot because I ran into so many people that were gushing about how fun this excursion was. And well, it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs if they cannot come to some sort of agreement and that they go on strike, because that will impact many cruisers going to Alaska, going to Skagway, looking forward to a trip on the White Pass Rail. Certainly, we want everything to be equitable. We want workers to get what they deserve, and hopefully this conversation about the strike and about the working conditions will resolve in a way that it will be beneficial to the worker, to the business, and also in a way that that White Pass Rail stays open so that one of the most popular excursions in Alaska continues to go forth and gives much joy to people choosing to excursion that way. Yeah, have you been on the White Pass Rail? Is this one of your faves? Leave a comment below. So those three items could just be temporary changes, but there is one permanent change that has occurred on Royal Caribbean cruise ships. It is now official. 3 of the Jazz clubs, the Jazz on 4 clubs on Royal Caribbean Oasis class ships, have now been permanently removed and replaced with smoke-free casinos. The Jazz clubs on the Harmony of the Seas, the Oasis of the Seas, and the Allure of the Seas, well, they're gone. I really enjoyed those jazz venues. Honestly, I wish they could find a different way to provide some smoke-free casinos, but those jazz clubs offered a really interesting experience when it came to kind of, 3 or 4 piece ensemble jazz or cabaret type singing. I'm sure there's other places on the cruise ship where they'll be able to do some of those things, and maybe this is just a better use of the space. But this will be good for, casino players who like a non-smoking environment, but it may be sad for some jazz aficionados. Do you have a feeling about it one way or another? You're welcome to leave a comment below. Now, I've got a couple interesting tidbits of Carnival Cruise news, including a day of rejoicing for those who do not eat meat. But before I do that, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. And you may be asking, why do I go through all of this hubbub? Why do I give you the jazz hands to entice you to subscribe? Well, I just want to be your man. I just want to be the person that you come to, one of the people that you come to for your cruise news. And I am happy to give it to you. The best way to stay up to date with what's going on is to be subscribed. YouTube will send you out a little notification in your notification box when the new show comes out, and it doesn't cost anything. So that's my appeal. So if you'd like to, hit that subscribe notification bell. Thank you in advance. All right, I've got 2 Carnival Cruise news stories. The first one I find to be very helpful. I get asked this question a lot. Do you know what theme parties are on my next Carnival Cruise? I want to make sure that I bring the right clothes. Am I bringing clothes for the 80s party? Am I bringing clothes for the white party? It's a real, something you want to know on the front end so that you can pack correctly. Well, Carnival has published a list of their theme parties by cruise ship, and I have compiled that on our website. I will leave a link in the description. It doesn't make sense to try to pop it up here and go through all of it. So if you want to see the list of the theme parties on Carnival cruise ships so that you know how to pack, I will leave a link in the description below. It takes you right to the website. You can see it. And then big news coming out from the Carnival culinary team. New vegan menus are on the way. A comment that I get often about many cruise lines is for people who have special dietary needs, people that are vegetarian, people that are vegan. It seems like those things have been an afterthought to many of the cruise lines with very few selections, very little thought put into those offerings. People, a little disgruntled that they don't have a way to eat the way they want to eat on the cruise ship. And well, it seems like the cruise lines are responding. More and more cruise lines coming out talking about the ability to service people that eat a vegan lifestyle, a vegan diet, and now Carnival specifically developing vegan menus for all throughout the day. The new menus have yet to be released. It will be interesting to see what is on those menus. I think that you can only eat these menus if you are certified vegan, which I think there is a certification card for veganism. So you have to be able to present your card to eat off of the vegan menu. And you also, it's the same way on cruise ships. If you're going to order off the kids menu, you have to be able to prove that you are a child. I'm just kidding about all of those certification things. That's the way my mind works. Wouldn't it be wild that if you wanted access to like a certain menu, you had to be able to, I'm sorry, I digress. Again, I'm squirreling off today. It's, I don't know, what is it, Sunday? I'm finally getting some rest after my epic travel adventure. Anyways, what do you think? Is this good news for people with dietary restrictions? Are you one of those people? Are you sided? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. Sure hope you enjoyed it. You could show your support, and I know you want to. All you got to do is click that like button. This is Tony for Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.